So if you watch my live streams, if you've watched content that I've aimed at Warhammer Plus, you'll all know that I'm not really a big fan of the Hammer and Bolter animation series from Games Workshop, but I have to give credit where credit is due. The last episode about the Relic, which features Chaos Space Marines and Necrons, I absolutely bloody loved. And this is why I'm doing this video here today. We're going to go in, we're going to break down the story, and we're also going to talk about some of the Easter eggs at the end, because this is the type of stuff I love to see. It gets me hyped, it gets me bloody excited. So let's jump in and let's get talking. So this episode is called Artifacts, and straight away we open onto a epic battle of Chaos Space Marine Terminators purging their way through what seems to be a Necron tomb world. There's like auto cannons bursting Necrons apart, lightning claws ripping them apart. It was really, really, really awesome. I actually do think that the animation has vastly improved over these last couple of episodes compared to the first couple of episodes that we saw with this animation series. They end up chasing this Necron Cryptek model through a maze of Necron spires. He's summoning like more and more Necron warriors to defend himself. I have to say, like, the voice acting a part of this scene, especially with the Chaos Space Marines, is really on point. I thought they captured the essence of what it really is to sound like a Chaos Space Marine, like very, very damned and like distorted and murderous. It was really, really awesome. The Cryptek model is eventually caught by the Terminators, like with a bolter to the back. It like knocks him down, and the Terminators are about to like kill it, about to make it meet its maker. Let's say, like, he stood with his foot on its chest, slowly crushing it as he points his bolter down to it. And then just before he pulls the trigger, the actual Necron Cryptek makes a bargain, or tries to make a bargain, with this Chaos Lord, this Chaos Sergeant Lord in Terminator armor. He offers these Terminators an ancient artifact. He actually offers them an Eldar artifact that can create paths between planets. It's basically a webway device. This webway device which allows you to make tunnels from one place to the other. So it's a really, really vastly important artifact, because if you have this, you can basically move entire armies, entire forces around the galaxy without warp travel, and basically just put them on planets to sneaky-sneakily. Now, the Chaos Terminators don't really believe this. They see it as a trap, and rightly so. They should, right? You know, this Necron offering things. Never receive gifts off Necrons. It will damn you into oblivion. So they're about to kill the Necron, and then there's a voice that says, "Let him speak." And they all look around, and they begin to bow down, because out of the shadows walks Abaddon himself. He looks fantastic, by the way. The way like they drew him, the way it was like animated with the lightning on him, I thought it was very, very cool. He listens to what the Cryptek has to say, and he basically tells the Chaos Terminators that they will go and seek out this artifact. Now, before leaving the Cryptek, of course, Abaddon being Abaddon turns around and headshots it. As they walk away, though, the body slowly vanishes away, like it wasn't really there, like it was a projection. And I was like, this is where the fun begins. Now, cut forward to the Chaos Terminators on board their ship at the location of where this artifact is said to be. They want to teleport into the actual room where the artifact is, so they can just get it, teleport out, and then go back to Abaddon and start, making webway wars. But they can't do that. They actually can't teleport into the room because the warp can't breach through it. Should be some alert signals right there if the warp can't breach through it. There was this like proper grimdark scene of like this type of sorcerer, I want to say, on board the ship, informing them of this information. And like this chap was like split in half. He was like held over a cauldron with like spikes on chains and stuff, so his blood's dripping in it, and that's where he's like seeing this type of stuff. It was really, really, really awesomely grimdark, and this is the type of stuff I love seeing a part of 40k brought to life in like these type of animations, this grimdark stuff. Now, while they're debating on the bridge of what to do, they end up spotting some dark Eldar ships, which is next to this ship location which this artifact's on. They end up having a big argument because the Eldari ships appear to be damaged. They appear to have been there for a long, long time. Some of them think that it's a trap because the Dark Eldar that pull these stunts all the time. Others think that they actually are dead, and, you know, maybe this is actually one big trap. So there's a big debate, like, you're a coward, you don't want to go on there. How dare you? I've killed more Dark Eldar than you've ever witnessed. That type of thing, you know, Chaos Space Marines being Chaos Space Marines. Now, they come to the decision to just teleport into an area of the ship, and they're just going to walk towards the artifact. So that's what they do. They teleport on there, and they start making their way to this artifact. Now, on board the so-called Space Hulk, they start to move through dead corridors when all of a sudden they are attacked by a few Dark Eldar. The Dark Eldar are obviously on this ship as well, searching for this artifact so they can take it and do whatever they want with it. A small battle erupts, and they deal with them. It's like nothing really that big, that really mind-blowing. But it did have like another really grimdark, awesome scene where one of the Dark Eldar is caught in like a power claw of one of the Chaos Terminators, and he's like, yes, do you want to beg mercy for your life? And the Dark Eldar's like, no, screw you, and it just like crushes the Dark Eldar, splits it in half and stuff. Again, absolutely bloody awesome. I loved it. They carry on walking through the Space Hulk, and they talk about how the power is still on, and, you know, it seems a bit kind of suspicious, a bit sus and everything like that, but they eventually make their way to the room where the artifact is, and I'm not gonna lie, it's looking very, very Necroner. I'm like, okay, this is a trap. This is definitely a goddamn trap. So they walk into this room, they actually break the panel on the door, so the door shuts behind them, and I'm like, you don't want to do that. You know, you need an exit here, Chaos Terminators. You're supposed to be veterans, you're supposed to know this type of stuff. So they walk over to the artifact, and the leader of the Chaos Terminators is like, puts his hand out, he's about to grab it, then all of a sudden time freezes and it comes to a standstill, and we're given like a bunch of like flashes of like different scenarios of like dead Eldari in the room, dead Chaos Terminators, like themselves dead, both of them dead, a huge battle that erupts in the room, like all these different scenarios are all flashing, and we're like, what the hell is going on? This is when we get the big reveal of Trazyn himself. He's walking through the middle of them as they're all frozen. I absolutely love Trazyn. Trazyn makes me actually want to build a Necron army. That's how much I love him. I've always had this amazing idea for a book, and just hear me out for a second as we just go off the animation. How about a book, right, which is just all about the collections of Trazyn? There's no like underplot to like free them or anything like that. There's no Necrons trying to bring his downfall. There's no Space Marines trying to bring his downfall. It's just Trazyn walking around each collection explaining what he is and how he acquired it. I think that could be amazing, because there's so many things that he could have in his collection which he couldn't really use in a 40k story because it could be too broken, like, you know, what they call like the Crocs and stuff like that. But he can explain to us how he acquired them, what they were like, and we'll just get to see a bit of history of the actual, you know, Warhammer just IP itself, all the way back, you know, during like the War in Heaven and stuff. I would literally buy that book so many bloody times. I think it would be amazing. Anyway, back to the story. Sorry about that. So Trazyn talks how close like the Terminators came this time to actually get in the artifact. He goes into like a monologue about like the Necrons and like how they came to this position and how immortality like requires entertainment, and this is why he collects moments, life forms, items and stuff like that for his entertainment. He reveals that this moment that the Terminators are in, and they're locked in this with the Dark Eldar, is basically within a Tesseract labyrinth. This is basically like a pocket of space where time can play out again and again. This is why we saw all them like different scenarios of flashing, is that it's a different scenario. They've been doing this so many times. This is what they'll end up doing for all eternity, trying to get this artifact and never reaching the goal. It always happens a different way, like slightly different. Sometimes they get there, sometimes the Dark Eldar get there, but like the main reveal is that it's a trap. It's always been a trap, and they will never reach it, and they're just locked in this forever. Now, as we pan out, we see them actually trapped in this Tesseract, which is absolutely amazing, but it gets better because we pan out even more. And if you're not looking at the screen at this moment in time, look at the screen right now. We get to see his collection, or a small part of his collection, and I was pausing and my eyes were just bouncing all around at this scene. So I'm just going to jump in. I'm just going to go and explain it a little bit more of what I personally found. So straight away, the big things in the middle, that is a Phantom Titan of the Eldar. This guy, he has got Titans in his bloody collection. You can see like the small silhouette of a Chaos Knight also straight in the middle. Now, what I was more or less looking for, because you can see little things in the background and stuff, but you can't see like the fully things. We'll get onto the ones we can see in a second. But what I personally was looking for in this was Clone Grim. For those of you who have read Clone Lord by Josh Reynolds, you'll understand what I'm on about. And I was like, is he there? Can I see him? I think this would have been the biggest bloody tease if we could see Clone Grim, a part of his collection, but sadly he wasn't there. Now, on the left side of the collection, as you can see here, oh boy, this is oof. So on the left side of this collection, we have a Vespid, which is very, very awesome. A Zote, a Thunder Warrior. There it is. We have a Thunder Warrior confirmed in Trazyn's collection. Look how amazing that bloody chap looks. Please, 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 for the love of the Emperor, do something more with Thunder Warriors and like the conquest of Terror, Games Workshop. I would invest so much in that. We see Creed stood next to the Thunder Warrior, which confirms that Creed is still alive. And of course, he is part of Trazyn's collection. That was part of the Gathering Storm storyline when Cadia fell. So Creed is still there. I think Creed planned this. This is a tactical genius ploy by Creed to get inside the enemy's base to bring it down from within. We have a book belonging to the Administratum. On the back row, we see a drone that is from the Blackstone Fortress type of stuff. We see a claw fiend. Sorry, I can't even probably spit the word. A claw fiend, and we see like a bolter and some other little things. I can't really make what they are, but there's a bolter definitely on there. I don't know like how precious that bolter is. Is it some type of sacred bolter? Maybe he just likes bolters. He loves to play Space Marines. Trazyn confirmed Space Marine player. Who would have thunk it? Now over on the right side, again, this gets a bit spicy as well. So we have a squat. There we go. Trazyn has Thunder Warriors and squats in his collection, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if he's collecting squats because he's heard about the squat rumors. Maybe Trazyn knows if the rumors are true. Maybe Trazyn is the source of all these rumors. Next to him, or should I say next to the squat, is a solitaire of the Harlequins, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're blank Eldar things. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, I don't know that much about Eldars. But next to that is an Enslaver. Oh boy, that is a big Xenos race, which we don't really hear that much about these days. Next to that is a helmet belonging to the Sons of Horus, because it's marked with the Legion number of the Sons of Horus, and it has the plume and stuff. So I think this is probably predates they're like Great Fall to Chaos. Maybe this is from the Great Crusade or something like that. Very, very cool. In the background of that, we get to see a little Swarm Lord as well sitting up there. So he has some big, big things a part of this collection. And again, the scale of this is like just like one corridor. Just one bloody corridor of his collection. And already I'm losing my mind at all of this. If I could have one thing to do in my life, it would be to visit Trazyn's collection, because it's basically us. It's us as a hobbyist in this 40k format of a story. He just likes collecting things, and he likes putting them on shelves where they can't move and they're real, but you know, it's still collecting things, and I think it's amazing. All right, that's enough waffling from me. I'm going to call the video there. Like I said, I very, very much enjoyed this. I will take my hat off to whoever was behind this episode, whoever wrote it, the animators and stuff. I think you did a fantastic job. Yes, like I said at the start, I've been kind of critical so far of Hammer and Bolter, but I definitely enjoyed this one. on, and hopefully we get to see things like this moving on with future episodes, because I think that is the right way to go, personally. If you've got any thoughts and feedback yourself, if you've watched it, did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? You know, you don't have to like it, of course, because I liked it or anything like that. Put it all down below, and we can have a nice little chat down there, as we always do. See you now. Have a great day, and bye-bye.